This is coming at a little bit of a special request by. Oh, turn the music off. This is coming at a little bit of a special request by Murami, who I was had the pleasure of running a game for with a group of other really cool individuals over on Dungeon Master's channel. You can absolutely check out the VOD there. We played Monster Week. It was a lot of fun. Also gonna put marker in. It was a lot of fun, and we were talking about deck builders, and she had mentioned that she'd never seen this before. So I was gonna go ahead and give a little nice, little brief preview to go ahead and showcase. So we're just gonna start a new run, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with basically the first combo that you can get. But so the gist of the game is that uh, you play as a denizen of hell who has hell's been attacked by angels, and basically the lifeblood of hell has kind of been put out, and now you're on a train that's bringing the like last remaining piece of this life force to the center of hell, so that way you can respark the. And you have all these different clans of people and individuals who are working together for this goal. So you have the Hellhorned, who are demons, and the Awoken. Those are going to be the two that you start with. Or just a, we'll look at both. There are a lot of other cool other clans as well. There's the Stygian, who are like fish, like mermaid style people. Uh, the Umbra, who are like they're kind of like toilers. They mine in the depths of hell. The Melting Remnant, who are almost like an old timey kind of faction. They are their main deal is that they have like kind of gang uh called the Waxers, who are like these individuals who they have this like whole gang faction going on, as well as like kind of this religious zealotry. And the Wormkin, who are just a brand new race. I don't really know what the deal is with these guys just yet. But we're gonna go ahead and stick with the Hellhorned and the Awoken. So when you start off a monster train run, you pick your primary clan and you pick your secondary clan. Um, it always has to be a different clan than what you're starting with. Um, that you have to buddy up with. So when you first start the game, you will start with Hellhorned and Awoken. That's how you all the rest of this locked up. We're also going to go ahead and push back Covenant rank 1. So you'll start on Covenant rank 0 if you start the game, but as you beat the game, basically you'll unlock these covenants, which rewards you for completing the game with an increased challenge. Um, and it also has like adds interesting and difficult caveats. If you're familiar with Slay the Spire, it's kind of like essential. So with that, we'll go ahead and depart. So when you start on Covenant rank 1, you're going to get a bunch of random starting cards. We've started with Fortify, Sharpen, and Inflame, all of which are pretty good. So this is the first thing that you're going to see when you start your game. You start out on the core edge of Limbo on this train track, and you are the train, basically. We'll get into what the moment-to-moment gameplay looks like after we go through these choices. But basically, the overall way that the game works is you start at the beginning of an environment. You do the different things in the environment, such as upgrading your champion, getting an artifact, and doing other things that could be beneficial but also harmful, like this. And then you go and fight the next little area, which this arena, which we'll jump into. After you overcome the challenge of the battle, you get to the next area, at which point you make your choices, and then you go into the next battle after that. So the idea is kind of like as you progress and go from ring to ring to ring, eventually making your way to the core, you will get stronger and or you'll upgrade your cards. We'll dive into it, but that's the basic kind of structure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the forge. Hey, Murami. I don't think we're getting any game sound. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, man, what is going on today? I think OBS updated and it just hates me now. That's unfortunate because the game sounds real good. Do. Oh wait, I think I know what. There we go. Should be working now. Sorry about that. Thanks for the tip. Um, So yeah, so at this very first choice, we're gonna choose to upgrade our champion, who is the Hellhorned Prince. So this guy is like your boy, right? Your main champion guy, and you only get one of him per deck. Um, and so at the beginning of the game, you can choose what pathway you take for their upgrades. You have multiple choices, but you always start with two. So there's like 3 different choices, but it can be between the 2. Also, Choo Choo, thanks for fixing. Yeah, happy to. So with this one, he gets armor, which is basically what you say on the tin. It gives you hit points, temporary hit points, before taking red heart damage, and then multi-strike, which means that this little ×2 means that that's how many times he attacks, in addition to the one time there. This version of him, he has Slay, so when he kills a creature using this 15 attack, he gains 10 armor, and then Revenge, whenever he gets hurt, he gets +2 Rage, and so Rage gives you extra damage. Basically every time he gets hit, he gets +4 damage until it decreases per turn. Reminds me of Hearthstone. Yeah. The it definitely does. The layout is very Hearthstone-esque. That's on. So so we've got a couple of things that will give us Fortify and give us armor and give us Rage, which is pretty good. And then we've also got this, which gives us spikes and a damage buff. Spikes are basic thorns. It returns damage back to the attacker. Yeah, so Wrathful. So there are multiple ways that you can play this, right? So with this one, this is very clear. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna have him up in the front, right? You're gonna have him tanking and taking damage, so that way he can be stronger and he can also take more damage in the future, because then he's getting the kill going on, right? Well, this guy, he just straight up is like a little bit of a tank to begin with, and he's a bit of more of a striker. But if you upgrade his damage and stuff like this, the multiplicative effect becomes very strong very quickly. But I think we are going to go Wrathful this time. And then you get an artifact as well first time. Start the game. So, Sting spells gain +10 magic power and piercing. So Sting is a specific type of spell that is associated with Awoken, who is the allied clan currently going. And Faulty Loader. Apply Daze 3 and melee weakness 1 to enemy units on the bottom floor in the first wave of combat. So basically this gives you... So Daze makes it so that way the enemies can't do anything, and melee weakness basically makes you do more damage. Hit them. So I don't think I have anything that generates stings currently. No. And because I'm not playing as an Awoken, I feel like this, if I went with the artifact, it might be... Well, I think I'm going to go with Faulty Loader simply because it's going to make me real strong in the... And then we can also do this, but I haven't really integrated with this system yet. It's part of the new DLC that just came out, so I'm going to... Alright, and that's going to take us to our first combat. So, in the first combat, you have... There's some information on this screen that's not necessarily immediately obvious. So, it gives you a little blurb about who these individuals are. They're Heaven's priests. These disciples have dedicated themselves to the service of heaven and will attempt to restore the life of their companions. Threat level, this is again part of this. And then the trial here. So you can give non-boss enemies +4 damage, and if I do so, then I get an additional unit draft. So we're going to turn that on. But you can also look at the actual enemies and see what their deal is. So this guy is the boss. So he does 4 damage and he has 130 life, and he is relentless. So this isn't really going to make a huge amount of sense until we see the board, but basically we'll dive into it when it's relevant. And then we have the Forged Disciple, who does 2 damage and has 40 life, and the Trusted Priest, who does 0 damage and has 1 life, but they restore 5 hit points to their friends outside of combat. So let's dive in. Noticing your voice is dropping out. God dang it. I don't know what is going on today. You know, it might be put a noise gate on my microphone. Closed captioning is helping with that too. Good. Give me 1 second. No, no, no. You know, I might just close. All the tech butts, maybe butts. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that'll fix it a little bit. Let's go with. Let me. You know. Let me shoot. Give me 1 second as I'm double checking all these different settings. Yeah, no problem. I want to make sure it comes through good. Testing. Okay, I think that should have worked now. Hopefully the sound's come back. Does the sound come back? Okay, good. Okay, hopefully it's hopefully this'll work now. I've reconfigured the way that it's set up in the most it's the most cumbersome possible possible way. I've got it so I've got the microphone routing in through RTX, and then I've got the RTX routing in through a voice modifier, and then I have the voice modifier routing into the game capture or into OBS. So that way I can still do stuff like this and be all echoey and in a cave, and it works still, but yeah, it's crazy. I wouldn't have even noticed that the captioning wasn't working for everything you say. It just would have sounded like some sort of trailing sentences. That's really interesting. Good to know. Man, I'm already loving having the captions. Captions are great. Do let me know if I need to move them though, if they're not coming, you know, if it looks if they're blocking some crucial part of the screen region. Oh, like this maybe. I'll go and put this away. Boop. Okay. So yeah, captions are real good. So diving back into it. So now this is going to be the actual playing part of the game. So in this, you'll notice that we have 3 different rooms and then a topmost room. So this topmost room is kind of what you are trying to defend. I guess the way that you could think about this is that it's basically a tower defense game as a card game. So the enemies are going to be coming in through this bottom floor, and they're going to be coming up, like going through this doorway up to the next floor and the next floor and the next floor until eventually they reach the pyre, and then they're just going to start whacking it and trying to destroy it, which is the exact opposite of what we want. So we're going to build basically a contingency of individuals who are going to fight back and make it so that way they don't make their way to the top. So we're going to start by playing the prince there, and then we are going to, I think we'll go ahead. You always start, whenever you play the game, you always start with your champion in your hand to begin with. It's very helpful like that. And then at this point, I think we're just going to go ahead and I think we hit him with this. So I think this will, we can do both. So we're going to go ahead and plate this guy up with armor, and then we're going to go ahead and smash that guy so he doesn't have the chance to heal. And then we'll enter. Oh, I will also go ahead and turn the combat speed down, so that way I can show it off. So now we have this little guy, the collector. So these guys are little imps that will appear basically every single time on the second round of combat, and he has a little bit of extra money that if you can kill him, he'll get you. If you don't kill him, he just leaves, and you lose your opportunity to do so, which is unfortunate. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is, I think we're gonna go ahead, since we've got 3 mana over here, right? And each of the cards requires a different mana cost, which is denoted up in the top left corner. There's also what you'll notice, like for example with this train steward, he has these 2 little dots up on the top of his head, and so does the Hornbreaker Prince. You can see by his name he's got the 2 little dots. So the 2 little dots are capacity. So each floor has a certain amount of passengers that you can have on your side, right? And which is denoted by the capacity level, right? So this one has a capacity, this floor has a capacity of 5. So theoretically, we could put another train steward on here, but if we did so, they wouldn't be able to put another one on there because we would be at capacity. Not every passenger card is a 2 capacity card. There are 1, 3, and some even 4 capacity passenger cards. But I believe we only have 2 in this moment, which is totally fine. I mean, this is literally the first battle. So, what we're gonna do is basically what I'm thinking is we want to be able to get this because that's going to give us a little bit of extra money in our pocket, but we also want to kill this guy as well. And I was hoping that we might be able to sharpen this dude too. I'm a little concerned that I don't think we have enough action economy in order to be able to get all that done on the same turn though. So I think what we're gonna do instead is we will play the train steward up here, and then I think we'll sharpen our main boy down here, and we'll also clean him up with some more armor. So he's only gonna lose like 1 hit from this. So that guy had no attack, and our train steward was dead. Now the enemies always attack first in Monster Train, so that's something you definitely have to be cognizant of. See, now we're just drawing like a handful of train stewards. Here comes the cavalry, right, boys? So what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna go ahead and place the train steward here, and we're gonna armor him up and give him like a little bit of tank, so that way the Hornbreaker Prince can attack a couple more times when the boss shows up. That's usually what a brief respite means, that the boss is gonna show up next turn, and then we'll go ahead and just plonk this guy down. And we'll plonk another guy down up here, so that way, hopefully, with their powers combined, they'll be able to get the kill on these guys before they make their way to the pyre. Now, oh, sorry, something I haven't mentioned yet. You notice that each of the characters, they have an X by their names, or a +6, right? So, or a -6 in this context. So the game will automatically tell you, it will give you like a little hint on how much damage or what exactly is going to happen to that target on a given turn. So on this given turn, the Forged Disciple is going to attack the train steward for 6 damage, and the Trusted Priest isn't going to do any damage because they're a healer. So, and my train steward would normally be doing 5 damage to the Forged Disciple. However, the Trusted Priest is going to heal 5 combat to it, which nets it at 0, which is why there's a 0. Now this is where Relentless comes into play. So Relentless means that basically as soon as the boss shows up onto the floor, combat doesn't end after a single turn has happened. Combat will just continue and play out until either the boss is dead or the boss has killed everything else on the floor. So, and we'll see that play out as well. So what's going to happen is that the train steward and the discipled Inquisitor are going to spar for a moment until the train steward dies, at which point the Hornbreaker will have also been attacking the whole time. You'll see what happens. Basically because at this point, even as soon as the boss dies, the combat is over. So even though these guys are on the top floor and about to get to the next one, as soon as this guy dies, which will happen before that, then the combat is over. So technically, if I really wanted to, I could just literally, I don't have to play any of this. I could just I could just hit end turn over here, and it's going to play out no problem. The pyre's not going to take any damage as well. So he hits, and then my boys hit him back, right? See, it just keeps going until this combat is resolved. Give me just 1 second. I'm modifying one chat setting so I can continue. So now we've gotten our reward. I want to see. I'm surprised that there isn't a way that I can see timestamps in chat. There we go. Timestamps for new messages. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the timestamps because then I can see when people said stuff. Okay, so now we've got now you have a drafting that you pick. So you pick one of these 3 cards. So we've got Rage, or we've got this, which gives Rage plus 10. So that'll give plus 20 damage for a while, but it costs 3 Embers, so it's pretty pricey. Welder Helper, who is an imp with one armor that you can summon him, and will apply 20 armor to the frontmost unit, which is helpful. And then we've got Hornbreak, which is a targeted spell which does piercing, which means it ignores armor and shields, and it deals 5 damage twice. So it deals basically 10 piercing damage, which can be really helpful because there are a certain number of enemies that have like super high armor but very low actual life. So this can be very helpful. But I think I'm gonna go for the Welder Helper here because I think playing it in synergy with my Prince will give him a nice little buff of armor to begin with, which will help with the rage. Hey Hawk, how's it going? Sorting out some food shop and getting excited about all the things we're gonna eat. Oh yeah, I mean that's the best time after you come back from the supermarket and you're like, oh my god, there's so much different food I can make. Absolutely. Thank you for the lurk though, I appreciate you. And then we have a second draft that we can do from our allied pack. So because we have chosen, and this is Sting. So if I had taken that initial relic, initial artifact, this Sting would be doing plus 10 damage, so it would be dealing 20 damage, and it would be piercing as well. So it's pretty good. But I think what we're going to take instead is Steel Enhancer. It's free, or it's a free to play, cheap little booster, which I think can be quite helpful. My second choice would probably be Pyre Shards because this is pretty solid. So consume means basically you play it once and then it's gone until your next combat. And Spikes is Thorns. So we're going to take Steel Enhancer. And then because we did the challenge, we're getting an additional draft. So some of these individuals are from are additional unlocks that I've unlocked. So you might not see these if you were to play it yourself. But let's take a look at what we got. So we got our classic Horned Warrior who has a multi-strike of 15 times 2, so he does 30 damage, and he has 5 life, so he's pretty strong. And then we have Deranged Brute. Rage on friendly units adds an additional +3 per stack, so it makes Rage worth +5 instead. So if we had a Rage run going, this guy would be an incredible way to buff that stuff up, which we kind of do actually. I mean, this guy has Rage, and then we've got Inflame. It might be valuable to take that. And then this guy is also a Rage unit. He starts with Rage 4, and then when he gets kills, he applies Rage 3 to friendly units, which is pretty good. The only thing is that I think that we want to keep the Hornbreaker as being the primary damage dealer, so I think we're going to take the Deranged Brute instead. Alright, and so that has moved us on to the next section. So now we're on the Cliffs of Fallen Souls. These sharp cliffs had led to the demise of many souls. Most who come to hell hope to bring their previous wealth, but material riches make navigation of this treacherous cliffside path a dangerous affair. Oh, thank you for the bees. Thanks so much, Hawkward. Appreciate you. Thank you. So now we have a choice, a different path that we can take. So let's take a look. So here we can choose to go to a Merchant of Magic, which allows us to forge spells to gain new powers. Oh, let me give a shout out to Hawkward too. It wants to work. Man, why is it not working? I'll just go ahead and do it manually. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. So now we have a choice, right? The pathway diverges. We can go either to the Merchant of Magic, who will allow us to upgrade our spell cards, or to the Merchant of Steel, who will allow us to upgrade our units. If we go to the Magic, we also can get $75 additional dollars. But if we go to the Merchant of Steel, we can get an additional Awoken unit, which could be good. I think we'll go ahead and let's take a look at what we got right now. because I'm thinking that it might be better to go to go get an additional unit. Yeah, let's go get an additional unit. Upgrade. So the Awoken are kind of like a race of sentient plant people. They're really interesting. They're kind of like a hive mind style deal. And so with this one, they are quick with which means they attack first as opposed to the enemies, which can be very helpful and advantageous in combat. And then we've also got this one with multi-strike 3. So any damage upgrade that you would place onto this unit would technically be multiplied by 3, right? But I think we're gonna go with the quick because I rather like quick as a feature. And now we're in the shop. So another really neat thing about this game is that instead of upgrading cards like in Slay the Spire, it has a pure upgrade path. Instead, what you do is you pick cards that you pick cards to start with, or you pick upgrade runes to slot into it. You see these little diamonds are actually little slots that you plonk the upgrade into. So we're gonna go ahead. I think it makes the most sense to give the unit that has this incredible damage buff to Rage, give him Rage 7, so that will make his Rage, he can get plus 35 damage when he starts on the turn, so he'll be dealing 45, which is pretty good. Pretty good upgrade there. And then you have Endless, which basically means that when the unit dies, it's returned to the top of the draw pile. And that's really strong with the Welder Helper, because basically you can put him into the back, you can summon him, his armor effect will proc onto the frontmost unit, and then you can use like one of these torches to just zap the Welder Helper, and he dies, but then he just goes back to the top of your deck and you can just play him again immediately next turn. It's great. And then let's see about, then we'll go ahead and just plonk just a straight plus 10 onto the Animus of Speed. She's a very glass cannon-y kind of character, and needs a good thing to armor up against. But we'll get that going on our next draft. All right, so now we're fighting the Barb Disciples. These spiked foes will make direct attacks more painful. Using spells from afar will let you fight without sacrificing your hit points. So, so we can give them spikes, at which point basically it's the same thing as thorns, and they will hurt us back for attacking them. This guy has sweep, which means he'll attack all enemy units at the same time. So basically the flower lady, the plant lady, the quick plant lady, she's going to die basically immediately against this guy. This guy has 25 armor but only 5 max life, so this would have been a good place to have that thorn, right? And this individual who is, they are an enchanter. They give spikes to enemies on the same floor as them. So I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to actually keep the challenge off for this one. A little dangerous. So they do start dazed, which is pretty helpful. So, okay, so this is great. So what we're going to start with is we're going to go ahead and put this guy up front. Then we're going to put him into the back. Yeah, now he's got 45, which is great. And then we're going to just, I think we're just going to armor this boy up, and we're going to sharpen him. And now these guys are all dead. Okay, great. And now, so we'll go ahead and inflame our frontmost boy. And these guys are just dead, and he's gaining 17 armor from this, so that's great. And then I think we'll just put the Animus of Speed up here, because I like having her out maybe when we get the back end. And that's going to be an extra $50. This synergy is quite good. This is like a pretty solid strong start for sure. I'm just gonna go pop those guys on out. Okay. And now, okay, so now, see, this is going to be the perfect opportunity, because now we can go ahead and just drop that guy, who immediately armors him up, and then we can just straight kill him, and then he'll be on the deck for the next turn. Oh, wait, this is the boss. I don't even got to do any of this stuff. Lol. He's dead already. He's dead. Yep. Oh man, the adventure command didn't work? God dang it. Let me see if it works for me. It worked for me. Try it again, Goldman. Alright, so we've got another couple of guys that we can summon on out here. There we go. It's almost like the first time it doesn't work, it needs to like it just needs to refresh or something. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, I think I'll take Ritual of Battle because we've got this kind of sweet rage synergy going on right now. We don't have a lot of healing. Well, actually, that's the opposite of true. We have plenty of healing. I think we'll go ahead and I do really like Glimmer because it's like an AoE effect. It's very strong in the beginning, but it becomes, unless you upgrade it, it becomes quite a bit weaker. You know, let's see. I could throw in throw on some damage. I don't really think it'll make me good. So now we have a couple of choices. We can go for an artifact and some fire health, or we can duplicate any card except for our champion and get a unit. So I think what we'll go ahead and do is probably will end up go ahead and duplicating a card. I think we should probably end up duplicating maybe the This is like a tough one because it's like, so the duplication is good, but usually you want to target a duplicate a card that you've already upgraded because you get better bang for your buck, right? Oh, and then we got Consumer of Crowns here too, who is like so strong and also just like ridiculous. So it costs 10 energy for you to summon him, and he's a three blip, so he's just this huge chunkin' lad. But he's cheaper for per imp that you have in play. So if you have like a bunch of if you've got a bunch of like armor imps or like the damaging imps, he can be very strong, and he can basically, you can summon him for free sometimes. It's really cool, and he's just absolutely super strong. But I'm not really digging either of these, to be honest, because I just don't have enough for Consumer of Crowns. And I mean, this guy's like okay, but like I really need like a tank more than anything. I think we're just gonna skip, unfortunately. Man, that's rough. A pillar of light spews strange fragments into the air, making the way ahead dangerous. The Bone Shaker grinds to a halt on its own, perhaps recognizing the odd power emanating from the pillar. The Bone Shaker is the name of the train. The air is stale, imperceptibly even, no longer stinging with the outer chill, but also devoid of life entirely. You feel the urge to hold your hand to the light, unsure of what may occur, but something in the back of your mind urges caution. Oh, but the light does beckon. What do you do? I feel it calling. Infuse Nexus Spike with the essence of 2 spells. I don't get it. What does it do? With the essence of 2 spells. No, not toggle essence. I'm not sure what that means. Or purge something, create 3 copies of Unhinged Power. Reduced to 0. Oh, it's an upgrade. And apply purge. That's really bad. I mean, I guess I could use that and apply it to, yeah, we'll take that. And we'll purge out this. Oh, and then you create 3 copies. Oh, interesting. I think we'll do it to Ritual of Battle. Well, shoot, I wish I had duplicated this first. Lol, that's funny. This is always what happens to me when I play this game. I always just get stuck with such indecisive fury. I guess well, oy vey. Because you want it to be something that's high cost, right? Because it's otherwise, what's the point? I mean, you get a bunch of copies of it for sure, but like, whatever. Duplicate. Let's do it. It's probably gonna pay out. Sorry, just checking Discord real quick. Had a couple of notifications, but it is nothing. Okay. All right. What do we do though? I mean, it would be pretty funny if we got 2 deranged brutes onto a floor. Right? I wonder if that stacks with itself. This is always what happens. I always get too zany for my own good, and then it just never works. I don't know why I'm acting like so defeatist, though. This is like literally Ascension level 1. I'm on the Ascension level 11 out of 25, so I don't know if that means very much of anything, but... So... I think it's fine if I plonk these guys here. So this guy, Daedalus, he likes to make bombs, which then explode. It's pretty irritating. I could just basically explode these guys and not have to worry about them. So the bombs, what do the bombs do? So they have a damage shield. So the first hit of damage against them, it doesn't do anything. And then at the end of their, at the end of the turn, they explode and they hurt the frontmost unit for 10 damage. So that's fun. Fortify our boy. I'm gonna tank that guy, so it's gonna die. And then we'll go ahead and apply it. And then we'll start throwing other units out. The dangerous part about throwing other units out of this fight is that he's gonna be continuing plopping bombs out this entire time, right? So theoretically they could be for example, he's gonna just straight die now, but that's okay. It's just a transfer. Transfers are kind of crap. So we're gonna go ahead and cast Glimmer, which is just gonna murk that guy, and then we're gonna go ahead and cast Inflame, which is just gonna give him a huge damage buff, and then we're gonna go ahead and put some armor on it. So this guy, he has an incant, so he gains strength whenever you cast a spell on this float, which can be quite dangerous. But it should be alright. Okay, great, and we'll go ahead and pop this guy out. He's gonna get 20 armor. I'm gonna sharpen him. And yeah, and we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. champion is doing 120 damage per strike, so it's pretty strong. Okay, so I mean, all of these are real good. The +5, deal 5 damage, apply 5 rage though, 7 rage. That's like plus 35 damage. Armor of the Ancients though, Alloy of the Ancients though, with apply 25 armor. Like this can be really strong too. I'm not really super worried about this though. I think let's just keep going with damage. Okay, now this is what I'm talking about. These guys are tanky boys. We'll go ahead and just get the Demon Fiend to back up the lady. And we'll go ahead and increase the casting. Okay, so now we're on the next choice. I think we upgrade our spells. So we haven't done that once yet. And if I'm moving too fast, or if anybody has questions, feel free to post, and we'll go ahead and encounter them as we go. Upgrade a spell and remove consume and increase cost +1. So I don't have any cards that cost consume, but I could technically upgrade a card with +20 magic damage to have it do with consume, and then remove the consume on it as well. But it would increase it by 1. Sometimes it's nice to have a couple little dinks though, here and there. I think we'll go for just the high level restore, because I like just a good high level restore. And then we'll go ahead and I think we'll make Inflame cheaper. What I really want is not Permafrost. Permafrost is good though. I don't really think it's relevant. No. Now we'll give the Glimmer the plus 10, so it does 12 damage, which is pretty fun. We'll go make it sharp and cheap too. And then we got a unit. These are all fun guys. Cultivate. What's Cultivate do? Increase the damage and health of the friendly unit with the lowest health by the Cultivate value. Oh, okay. Increase the lowest value. Oh, interesting. So it heals the other guys now too. That this guy acts differently than he did before. I think we're gonna go with the Husk Limit though, because I think he has the capacity to be quite good. Alright, so now we gotta upgrade our guy again. So I mean, this is like really good, but this is technically an increase because it's multi-strike. I think we'll go with that. Because having multi-strike, instead it would do 200 points of damage per turn. This could be tough, but we're gonna go for it. So this guy, he has haste, so he's gonna move all of these guys directly to the 5th floor. So that's gonna be a fun time issue. Then we're gonna go ahead, but we're gonna start by playing this guy. We're gonna plot this guy out. I don't want to place the Animus just yet. But I could just kill all of them. Well, okay, I'm gonna just kill all those nasty guys, and then we'll go ahead and I think we'll. Oh, that's my bad. Miscalculated my amount of energies left. Thanks, Imp. Thanks, Impy. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and log out this guy. Then we're going to use the Dark Deal on my own friend. Then we're going to go ahead and... Oh, well. I think it's fine. Just keep buffing my main boy. Oh yeah, and that's going to kill everybody. Great. Alright, because the spikes now make it so that way when they attack me, they just die. That's really nice. And it's increasing my damage by a huge amount. There's some real interplay of mechanics going on this run. It's like I feel like this is a great example of what makes this game so crazy. Oh, I didn't realize this guy costs 4. And I'm done. So we're going to go ahead and start with taking that. And then we're just going to keep armoring up. Just going to kill everybody. I know I should probably put the train stewards up, but like, I'm just gonna not do anything. Guys. Oh, I should have killed my little impy friend. Dang it. The combat speed up just a little bit. Now that we got the gist of what's going on. And so we're haven't had to use any of these purge battle rituals yet, which I think is good because I'm just like saving them. Oh. So let's see if this works. So he's got 171 damage now. If we played this guy on, it did increase the damage by 258. That's great. He's like, go make it. This run's got some good synergy going on. I'm here for it. Hey, here we go. That's actually, like, helpful. This might be good, too, to be honest, though it's not really our whole deal. Though it is kind of an aspect of our run. I think I'd rather have the draw, though, to be honest. Okay, so... money or... I mean, we can upgrade our units some more. I definitely feel like we could go for another upgrade. We can also cut some cards from our deck too. Let's go upgrade our units some more. We'll also cut a train stone. Come on. Upgrade a unit with 25 life. I'd rather give the Animus something else. So you can only have 2 slots per character. So it's kind of important that how you upgrade your units. We'll leave the husk plus 15. And we can't play the Demon Fiend yet. Let's give it a little extra life. Reroll. Okay, now we got multi-strike. We're going to put that on the Animus. I think that's good. Two, and we'll go ahead and put another Rage Stone on the deranged group. I think that's basically the best you can get. Look at this guy. The historian makes his way towards the train in his unusual carriage. Hellborn, how fortunate I am that our travels have finally crossed paths. I am recording the events of Armageddon for posterity. Possibly futile, I know, but I shall make a fortune if you do somehow succeed. So, would you characterize yourself as honest, aggressive, or stealthy? This guy just give me like 120. I think I'll just get that just so to get it out of there as fast as possible. But well, interesting indeed, but quite uncharacteristic of Hellborn, though by no means unwelcome. Perhaps those good intentions will carry us past these dark times. Here's something for your assistance. Best of luck to you in the battles ahead. Bye-bye. Oh, these guys are annoying because they have stealth. So stealth basically means that you can't do anything against them until it's ticked all the way down. Non-boss enemy units restore all health. I think that should be an issue because our guy is so strong. We'll just start in reverse. Just press him up at the top. Yeah. Back that guy. Yeah, we got this. And we got that. This. There we go. See, now we're gonna go ahead and put this other guy there. Now they're just gonna do a bunch of damage. And then we'll go ahead and put the Belt Hermit there. And then we'll put the Wellbell behind him. And we should be good. I love the sound effects at the end. And we'll get that. We'll just, we'll just... Oh, why not? Why not? Important work, Self-esteem. See, like, I don't think that even with her 7 stealth, I don't think she's gonna get past this what we got planned, what we got prepped. I think she Well, I will admit, stealth is usually my stumbling block on these kinds of games. How she's just getting 7 direct attacks in. And now she has no free attacks. Yeah, she did. Whoops. I'm not gonna guess. Just got Sketches of Salvation. At the start of battle, oh, summon 4 random units to your deck. Nope, skip. That's a hard skip. Send a unit and fly 2 days. That actually could be good. So we'll send like an enemy unit and send them up, and then they'll be dazed, and they'll and then our guy will just smash them. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so I do want to get some removal going on. I also really want some more loot. Do I want to upgrade spells, or I think my boys are basically all kitted. I really want to just upgrade. I want to upgrade magic. So we'll upgrade magic. Also, I'm just gonna eject some train steward. So long, steward. So long, restore. Here we go, double stack. That's what I want for Inflame. Or that's what I want. And I want holdover for Dark Steel. That's what I want on that. So holdover basically means that you can holdover means that you can put permafrost onto this. Actually, no. Put permafrost onto that. Then we'll reduce the cost of Tarzan. Is something else I want to buff by 10? Yeah, we'll just... I forgot what my train of thought was. That's fine, though. It's fine. Whatever. No worries. Next. Arcus, Darkness Incarnate. Using unknown ancient powers, Arcus summons shards of divinities to alter advance. Get you and your shards out of here. Shartness. Oh no, he's spooky boy. Ooh. So I think we're gonna just keep doing what we've been doing up until this point. We're gonna put the sweet boy there. We're gonna put the other guy there. We're gonna fortify out sharp. So we're going to play Pyro Grow, which means that on the next turn we're going to draw less, but we're going to have more energy for the rest, which is going to allow us to summon the Crown Smasher, which is going to be very helpful. Smash that up. And we're going to play it. And... Oh, DJ Nerd, welcome in, friends. Howdy. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you so much for the raid, DJ Nerd. Let me give you that shout out. Oh no, what did I have done? It's fine. Everything's fine. Hey, the Nerd Herd says hi. Hey, everybody, welcome in. Bop, bop, bop. Boom. Thank you so much for the raid, DJ Nerd. How was that game? It looked really cool. I was like watching and lurking a little bit. It looked like a real neat game. That game looks like very detective-y and kind of neo-noir. I was digging it. I liked that it was like very sci-fi. It's cool. I liked it. We're just playing a little bit of Monster Train. We're about halfway through this run, and we're popping off at this point. I mean, it's basically, oh, don't play another card. It's basically a done deal. I mean, we're crushing it. Our run is super good. It's awesome. It's going well. We're doing just a little cheeky like look at Monster Train, which is a game I personally really enjoy. I find it to be a good time, albeit a very difficult one. And yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I guess I should introduce myself as well. I'm Timbo the Wizard. I'm a Twitch streamer, variety streamer. I do all kinds of stuff. We also do world building around here, around these parts. We do a little something called world building, which I'm gonna post there. Where if you're interested, you can also have things come onto a cool map that we're all working on together. We're all building. It's pretty neat. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make this guy climb up. Now he's stuck. I'm also a contributor with the Knights of the Bantam, who are a super cool socialist art collective. And tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about 4 hours from now, little under 4 hours, 3 hours and 42 minutes to be exact. We're going to be doing a charity event for Red Canary Song, which is a charity that helps Asian migrant and sex workers. It's really cool. We're going to be playing a bunch of party games. We're going to have some sweet rewards. If any of that sounds like your bag, baby, then you should definitely come by. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Hope everybody is having a lovely day out there over in Twitch land. So let's run through Monster Train. Let's take it just straight from the top. So Monster Train, you play as basically a bunch of members of Hell who have like decided to work together. Hey Ryak, how's it going, my man? You play as like a champion of Hell who are trying to bring this like pyre shard to like the core of Hell, and in order to bring it back to life. Hell has been pretty much fucked up since the angels like declared Armageddon basically and decided to come down and basically destroy everything. So now we're trying to like basically bring Hell back to life. And so in this game you play as a bunch of different clans that are working together to try to prevent or try to bring Hell back, which is it's really neat. And so you're on this like train, which is pretty wild, and basically the way the game works is it's a little bit like a tower defense where each floor, like the enemies are going to come in this floor and then they're going to move up slowly floor by floor at the end of each turn, and you've got to prevent them from getting to the top and destroying your pyre, which has health and it can be defensive and stuff like that. It's real cool. I'm probably not doing the best job of explaining everything that's going on right now. This is like the middle of a boss fight. But yeah, if y'all have any questions. Oh, what up? You know, just chilling, just taking it easy, having a chill stream, getting excited for our charity event. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good time, man. That art that individual offered up as a reward, it's real good. Like I was taking a look at their commissions page and their art stuff, and I was like, man, this individual knows composition. Like I like their vibe. It feels very like kind of like fighting fantasy stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. I like that kind of classic like choose your own adventure art style. But yeah, so I mean, there's just like a lot of stuff going on this screen, which you don't really got to worry about. Basically, what's happening is, so this guy is fighting us, and he's coming up the levels, and every time he destroys a level, he freezes it behind him because he's the boss. My character has a bunch of armor on him. That's what this little number on the shield is. And then we're also doing just an F ton of damage. So basically, the reason we're doing so much damage is because we have Rage 40. Rage normally does plus. Rage normally does plus 2 damage for every stack, so normally this would just be plus 80, which would inherently be strong. But we've got these 2 boys up here, the Deranged Brutes, which are increasing the modifier for the Rage. So each Ranged Brute makes each stack of Rage deal plus 3 additional. So each stack is now equivalent to each point of Rage is now equivalent to 8. So 8 times 40 is plus 320. So we're doing 353 damage per attack, and then we've also got multi-strike, which allows you to attack multiple times. So it's like just like super strong all around. Like the dude's already dead. You can see he's dead because he's got the little. I don't even understand these cards. I was blown away that Keichin was able to get someone to donate art. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, it was super nice of that person to volunteer. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the lurk, DJ Nerd, and thank you for the raid. I absolutely understand, like, raiding, and you got. I mean, I know that like after I'm done streaming, I'm like just wiped, and I need a moment, need a Snickers or something like that. So feel free to raid and run. I have no problem with that. Thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate you, brother. Hope you have a good one. So, I mean, this is like just really strong. This is like real good because this will just double the amount of armor that we've got on a single boy. This could also potentially be very good. We don't have like a huge amount of energy, but I think we'll go ahead and go with that. And then we've got another one. So I think maybe we will just straight upgrade energy, or maybe we should upgrade card draw. Card draw seems like it is being a little bit of an issue. Like I need to get stuff out a little bit quicker, I feel like. Let's go with card draw. Long ass day, yeah. I feel it. Well, you enjoy your long holiday weekend too, which I'm definitely not jealous about. I mean, man, I wish they don't even give us one day off in America for Easter, which is, I mean, and then versus 4, like I'm like, wow, I'm kind of jealous. You enjoy it though. You enjoy it. So now we've come to a Easter holiday over in the UK. Yep. They get Friday and Monday off. Isn't that wild? Bank holiday. Man, I wish they would like. There's another streamer that I watch named Jonas or JTTG, who's a real cool guy, and like he mentioned like, man, I hope that one day like my life, I like in the future the government gives a day off because of accomplishments that I made in my life, because then I feel like it would be like good, it would be worth it, which I thought was pretty funny. So we are two combats away from the finale here, folks. So what we're gonna do is we've got another choice that we can make. So every time that you complete a combat, you come to like a divergent path. So you can choose which of your like how you want to go ahead and upgrade. So if we pick this way, we'll get an artifact. We'll also be able to buy artifacts, and we'll be able to use the concealed caverns, which is kind of like a question mark spot in Slay the Spire, if that lines up for you. Or we could just go get money. We could go upgrade some powers, and we could get 20 fire health. So we don't really need fire health. Our spells are pretty good. So I think we'll go ahead and get some trinkets. Friendly units get plus 2 damage on Slay. That seems pretty good. Yeah, we'll go with that. Before each battle, set pyre health to 50. If this reduces pyre health, gain 3 for each health lost. That seems terrible. And all these are bad. I'm gonna reroll. Whenever an enemy moves between, deal 2 damage whenever an enemy unit moves between floors. Whenever a card is consumed, I don't have a lot of consumed. When at the start of a turn, add a Vine Grasp spell with Purge to your hand. Vine Grasp, deal 3 damage. Move that unit to the front. That could be good. And then we'll go for the concealed caves. I don't really know like what I'm doing for the most part when I play this game. I usually just go by gut feeling and instinct, which usually doesn't work, but An arcane machine peeks through the snow, mechanical arms and controls in various states of disrepair. The large harness in the center looks to have something vaguely familiar, but you can't place what. Near the opening of the train, a metal control board stands relatively untouched, clean even. Strange. When you move forward towards it, the board whirs to life, and a single button with a diamond icon flashes in front of you. Okay, press the button, build a card. The machine moans in response, additional prompts appearing in the control panel. A row of levers arises from the metal board, each one adorned with symbols that you can only assume refer to various elemental effects. Spikes effect. Machine moans in response, additional prompts. Another row of levers. Damage, heal, buff. Buff. Shards Archon, you heal upward. Create a pull effect? Old magic. Gain 5 spikes. Gain 10. Hold to the front. Great. So I'm just going to use that on my top boy. Over and over again. Cool, cool, cool. And then we're going to upgrade our champion. Now this is a tough choice. I think we've got to go with the Slay armor. That could be really helpful. I don't have a huge amount of armor gain going on. I think we'll go with the Slay armor because I think that that's going to be enough to buoy us. Give me just 1 second, chat. I'm going to go to the restroom real quick, and then we were going to go ahead and finish off the rest of this this monster. Alrighty, I'm back, folks. Let's go ahead and dive back in. So, finding some winged boys, finally. So these guys have quite a bit of health, quite a bit of damage. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, I don't think we're going to turn the challenge on, because spikes might wreck me. Now, this is an interesting choice that we have. Because I almost feel like it would be, I think, going with what we've been doing of plonking our main champion unit up on the top and then leaving him be for the moment makes sense. So what we're going to do, I think we're just going to do like a couple little dinks here and there. We're going to take care of that guy, remove his multi-strike. Then we're going to go ahead and put the sweet boy there. And I think that that's just fine. I think that's fine. Okay, this is good. So we're gonna go ahead and just plonk all this stuff up here. We're gonna play the Pyro Grow. We're gonna play Bird. Oh man, this is a tough one though. I think we go for the spikes on a boy there. I think what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna hit this guy with the glimmer. We're gonna purge this guy. So he's just gonna take less damage. Then I think we'll just pop one onto that guy. One of those. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and tink. And then bring it back. And then we're gonna go ahead and do that. Swipe that guy. Sharpen you. I said the train stewards are just basically absolutely useless. I might as well not even have them in my deck. Just thinking out how I want to play this. Must be in these last three here. Yeah, there he is. Little so-and-so. Sleeping on the job. Sack. Another sack. And then we're good. Probably gonna flame the top one, but I think it's fine. I mean, the dude only has 1100 life. Like, I think it. If it's not okay, I'll be surprised. I mean, hell, my middle floor almost killed the rest of these guys. Okay, and yeah, and he's dead. He's dead. He's dead! So long, chump. Okay, you know, let's just go for another Imp Destruction spell. I actually think I don't need any of this stuff. I almost feel like I didn't even need the Imp Destruction. This is the final fight, though. So, what do we take? What do we take? What do we want? What do we want? Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. I'm thinking we go for the straight upgrade and we just remove the train steward. Hey, Elysia? Man, nice name. Welcome in. I'm Timber the Wizard. I do all kinds of stuff around here. How are you doing today? We're just finishing up this end of this monster train run, and then we're probably gonna end up pivoting to something. Not sure what though. Elysia, excellent. Man, that's I'll mark that one down. That's pretty dope. All right, let's see what this thing is. Root split mask. Apply rooted. When played, your champions gain plus 50% max health. Wow, that's good. That's not gonna be relevant, so we'll take that. Are you new to the game? Not particularly. I was kind of playing. I have quite a few hours logged. I'm only on like Covenant rank 11. I was kind of doing this video as a little preview, a little tutorialization for a friend of mine who had never played this before, but enjoys deck builder. So I wanted to give it give it a little bit of time in the time in the sunshine for them to show it off. But I've played like a good chunk. I played like a good bit. Gotcha, sounds great. Yeah, I really like this game. Like, I like it a lot. I'm not very good at it, but it also helps when I'm playing on like I'm like playing on like Covenant Rank 1 at this point. Yeah, just as like the tutorialization, because I like the game, like, and I want to show it off. So and I was like, I don't want to get salty, which will definitely happen if I don't. So let's go ahead and upgrade. I mean, I haven't even been using the Demon Fiend, which is unfortunate because he's very strong. So we'll go ahead and put him on quick, maybe make him more desirable. Guess we'll just put one of that guy. This game got me addicted to It's Bad. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and there's so many different combinations of different cool things. I should have checked this first. Oh, damn, that would have been so good. Oh well, I'm still gonna absolutely crush it. Yeah, it's like all the different combinations of different allies and primary units and stuff that you can do. It's crazy. It's wild. Like, it blows my mind. The title thing in this game makes it so addicting. Yeah, and the way that the upgrades work too is just so cool and such a clever mechanic. I really like it. We've got this like crazy rage synergy going on right now where like I've got 2 deranged brutes in this deck, and I've got a rage thing going on with the Hornbreaker crits. So every time he gets rage, he gets like plus 10 stacks for it. It's awesome. It's very strong. Glimmer, as much as possible. Small details like the cards level and stuff like that I fall for quick. Yeah, the way that the cards, you can upgrade the cards, and it's like as opposed to something like Slay the Spire, right, where it's like you have a set path, right, that you upgrade the cards, that you can upgrade it to, right. Instead, it's like, because you have all these different choices of different cool things that you can do instead, there's like so much more flexibility, I've found, at least, which I think is really cool. We're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna dump. Go you forward to the front. See how you like it. See how you like it. I'm not leveling up. The cards changing over. Yeah. I know what you mean. The aesthetics of the game. It's a very pleasing game to look at. Like the way that all the art is and everything is animated. It looks fun. I agree. Going to put some spikes on this guy. If I put my lady out here, is she just gonna straight die? She is just gonna straight die. Hey, Mirami. Also, I don't know if it's just me. I feel like the game moves a bit too loud for your voice. You're probably right. Oh, it is quite loud. There we go. I think I had it tuned up for something else. I do appreciate the tasting of the menu, by the way. Thank you for streaming it. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it was rather hard to hear you. No problem. Thank you for the heads up. Yeah, I think I had turned up the volume the other day for something else. What was that for? I can't remember. Yeah, I'm happy to show it off for you, Mirami. I was like, oh, another person to bring into the fold. Yes. You too shall enjoy the monster and the train. Just wait. And this game has a multiplayer mode too, which is really cool. Called the Hell Rush, which is just wild. It's like one of the wildest game modes I've ever seen in a game like this. It's really, really cool. I mean, these guys are just showing up in force, aren't they? No worries, I know the struggle of setting up sound. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's multiplayer in this game. Yeah, it's basically the way it works is you and several other people go at the same board and with the same starting the same start, and you guys run the same seed, and basically they have assigned point values to different things, and you try to get basically to the end and get the highest point value. It's really cool. It's really, really neat. I personally haven't played it, but I know it exists, and I know it's a really cool thing. So this is fun. This is a fun thing that's going on here. Where is it? I think it's in the menu. I'll try to see if I can find it after I'm finished with this run, because I'm about to crush this guy. I mean, he's at Half-Life. Haven't even gone to the boss yet. It's definitely giving me Hearthstone vibes, and it's got an interesting twist with the tower defense. Yeah, the tower defense is cool. Oh yeah, it's in challenges. Yeah. That's where it is. Oh, and thank you so much for the follow, Easy. I appreciate you. Welcome to the guild. Oh, since you're new here, let me go ahead and show you. We do world building too. Which is like a really cool thing that if you have any ideas for, basically it's like this big old map that you can input using channel points. You can input coordinates into, and then you could be like, I put this thing here, put this like location here, or something like that, and people are just, you're able to add to this community map that we're kind of building. It's really neat. So here's the plan here. So we're going to first just start with a steel enhancer and increase my boy's health there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, this is silly, but so we're going to summon the imp there. Then we're going to use Important Work, who is going to just immediately kill him, summon him back. We're going to summon him again. And then we're going to use Imp Sacrifice and just blow him up and cause him to do damage to his friends. Was there a point to that? I'm not sure, but it felt funny. So I think it's good. I think it's good. And then we're just gonna murk this dude in the back there. Go on with that. Sounds great. Yeah, it's cool. Take a look. There's some really cool map markers and locations on there as well, from other members of the community that have added stuff too. We'll just kill that guy so he does more damage. Okay, great. So now we're going to summon the Demon Fiend. Oh, hey, Ray. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. You're on me. Also, you mentioned playing by gut feeling, so I relate with that for deck builders. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I definitely have like those moments where it's like, I feel like there's an optimal way of doing these things, and my gut is telling me to do it like this, but I have no idea whether or not those two things are mutually exclusive or not. So yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of card games and stuff like this are definitely about feel, and it's just like, do I think that this is gonna work? You're all right. That's good. That's good to hear. Magic the Gathering is just an instinctual player mode for the most part. Yeah, Magic the Gathering is really interesting. I just like, it's one of those games where I really don't want to invest like a huge amount of money into playing it, and I kind of feel like you have to, unfortunately. Like, even if, especially with like the online version, like I tried playing it for a while, just like, you know, getting like free packs and stuff here and there from you know, from missions and stuff, but it's like the game is like so like not balanced to make it easy for you to do that kind of stuff and not spend money, which is like just unfortunate, I think. But like the game itself is real fun. Like I really like Magic. It's just like I don't want to drop like $200 in order for my deck to be viable, to have me have a like 50% win rate. You know what I mean? Is this deck building as constructed deck or deck building as in drafting? This is deck building as in drafting. So as you play the game, as you progress down the levels of the train, you do draft picks of different cards, and then you can upgrade them, do it for different slots and stuff as you progress. So you'll notice, I'll just show you my deck right here. So you'll notice that like some of these cards, like this one, it doesn't have any of these little nodules here, but on these other cards you have these little charms, and the little charms do various upgrades, right? So this one is a multi-strike upgrade, and a strength upgrade. So it gives this character multi-strike and a damage buff, so they're a little bit stronger. I've been lurking, come over with the raid. Oh yes, I figured as such, right? I figured as such, definitely. Yes, welcome in. I've been playing Magic player off and on probably for 20 plus years. Yeah. It's interesting to play with new cards I have no knowledge of and just full of guess what going on well together. Yeah, exactly. Like, and it's kind of interesting too, because you have this kind of like long form perspective. You have kind of maybe a better understanding or better concept of stuff that might work together, which is, I think, really conceptually very interesting. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, that's fine. We'll just I'll Come on up a floor. There you go. And yeah, so but basically the gist of the game is enemies come down on this floor, and then each turn, each round, they move up one floor to the all the way to the top until they get to the pyre, at which point they start attacking the pyre. When your pyre drops to 0 hit points, you lose the run entirely. And so you have to build like these floors of units of these passengers to prevent the enemies from getting past you, which is kind of what I'm doing here. The game is, of course, like a little bit more complex than that in certain regards. But man, why is he dying? Oh, because he's attacking. Great. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. We're gonna go and purge this guy. We're gonna go in and just plunk another armor up. Plunk that on. We're good. I'm sure all that background informs some of my gut instinct stuff, but it's usually not super concise or super conscious when I find which I find interesting. Yeah, definitely. I find that's true with like lots of games too, right? Where it's like you have, like, depending on how versed you are in like the language of the game in general, right? You might find that like you have a deeper understanding, or you're able to grok the information of other games faster because you're like, oh yeah, I recognize these mechanics from this other thing, and there's kind of some carryover, which I think is really interesting. Sometimes I randomly net deck on Netrunner and just play him as I draw him. Sometimes it works. Yeah, I think that's really a really cool thing too that you can do, where it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a random deck literally and see if it works. And sometimes you get some really incredible stuff. Like there was this really cool card game that I was quite into for a little while pre-pandemic that was called it was called Keyforge. And Keyforge was a really interesting game that was doing something that I had never really seen before in terms of card games, in that when it's not a deck builder and it's not a trading card game in the traditional sense. Instead of buying like packs of cards that you would then open and build decks with, instead you buy a full deck from the producer of the game, and the deck is completely closed and nobody's ever seen the deck, and they generate the decks randomly using procedural generation. Oh yeah, Keyforge. Oh yeah, you guys know what Keyforge is? Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Keyforge is really neat. I really like the concepts of that's going on of what that game has going on for it, because like Keyforge is like, I find fascinating because you can have some really interesting stuff, and it's like it's like I find like a lot of card games. We've just won, by the way, but I find that a lot of card games, it's like, oh yeah, so I'm learning how to move within the system, but with Keyforge, it's like you're learning the deck and you're learning how the deck works, which I find to be fascinating. Like, I think that that's a really interesting way of handling it. So we just absolutely smoked this run. This was on basically Ascension level 1. So once you've beaten the game once, you get access to this one. So this would give us Ascension level 2, but we basically that was a really strong run. There was some really good synergy going on that one with this rage and all that good stuff. It was really solid. I'm not sure I love Keyforge, but it's fun enough, and I like the concept. Yeah, it's like just such an interesting play space that I haven't seen explored before, for sure. And then when you beat the game, depending on the cards that you won with, they get this sweet little gold backing, which is very nice. You get this nice little gold backing to the cards, and so this is where all the different cards are, and all the different factions. And this game is like really cool. I really enjoy this game a lot. But yeah, back to main menu. I do a lot of mini masters with Magic the Gathering when I play now, which feels somewhat similar. Mini masters? I'm not familiar with mini masters. That sounds interesting. Is that like pre-builts? Something like that? It sounds really interesting. But with that, I think we're going to go ahead and pivot off of Monster Train. Give me just 2 seconds as I get all this going.